Thank you for being with us. And we are Nidra and Derek Lanakila, and we are practitioners in the healing arts. Derek specializes in healing facilitation. That is his total focus. He does it, seems like 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Not quite.
And I am also a practitioner in the healing arts, and I am broader spectrum. I want to acknowledge to this group of wonderful, sensitive people who have gone through hell in different ways, that we have so much compassion and respect for your journeys. And I want you to know that we really know that each one of your journeys are very unique. They're unique. And I believe that, and I don't say this lightly, but I really believe that you are a special group of people, and you're meant to have an appreciation of healing in ways that the mass don't understand. They'll never understand, not to the degree that you have the capacity to understand. And we are so honored that you have found us, or you have found Derek.
And found us.
And it just means a lot to us, what you've gone through. And yet your life still continues, no matter what you've gone through. And eventually, sometimes sooner, sometimes later, you see the light. And you think, who is ever going to appreciate what I've gone through? Who can I even share this with? And you try sharing it with people, and their eyes glaze over because they can't get it. But we get it. So you're home. Whether or not, you renew with Derek next month, or you have a session with me, whether or not you have any of those things, you found home. Breathe. So thank you.
We've each gone through our own versions of hell. We've each gone through our own versions of feeling like, what am I doing here? Why do I even need to go through this? How am I ever going to make it through this? So we have our own experiences of it, and they're unique to all of us. There is light at the other side. There is so much more.
There is a lot.
And
more.
as you release more of those, especially emotional and spiritual blocks and fears and beliefs, as you release more and more of those in your work on yourself, in our work together, in your work with other practitioners, but as you continue to peel away those layers, you'll find yourself being able to co-create with your universe the life you want more easily. Things will start to come to you. You'll start to see that, things are getting a little easier, and then you'll release some more things, and you'll be able to create even more. So this journey, it gets sweeter. It continues to get sweeter through all that you each have gone through. It really can be so much more than where you're even at right now.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much for your words, Nidra. I think, I can't say I speak for the group, but I know for me, my life has definitely been, for a long time, not feeling part of the group, feeling like an outsider, feeling different. And even now I recognize that I'm different and that a lot of people don't understand me. So that's something that I'm hoping through this process of working with both of you that I learned to really embrace it as a gift.
Yes.
And I know that's part of my journey is really that self-love and self-acceptance, which I'm not quite there yet, but I work on it every day. And I I wanted to share an experience of today. I had a session with Derek, and I had felt this kind of dark entity over the weekend, and it felt very strong and very intense, and it was challenging for me because I felt out of control. I felt impulsive, and I felt confused, and I didn't feel like myself. And in my session today, we talked about that a little, and then he did some work on that. And I remembered what you said about the ocean for me. And I went to the ocean and I took a long walk tonight, and the water was perfect. And after my walk and my run, I just jumped in, and it was nighttime and there was nobody
Wow.
there. And the water, the waves were crashing, and it was really fun. And I felt incredibly light
Whew.
and joyful. And it was just so amazing. And I felt so blessed to be able to be in the ocean in November. And I had it all to myself. And it was just, I had so much fun. And I felt like I did a complete 180 from where I was. So I just wanted to share that because that's a piece that you had shared with me from last week. And was already feeling the shift after my session with Derek today. And when I made the decision to actually go to the beach, that's a shift in and of itself, that action step of being there. And then going into the ocean was just, that was it. That was, I felt it. I knew that that's where I needed to be to really finish off, this healing process that we had talked about.
How wonderful.
Yes.
What a great gift to yourself.
Yeah.
Just feeling it feels really great. Something else that I want to share with you, since you are by the ocean, and for any of you who are near the ocean, where there is sand at the ocean is a gift, all capital letters. And one of the things that you can do, it's one of our fun, we've done it at night and we've done it in the daytime. And God, I like both of them. Both of them are very special. But you create a little cavity, an indentation in the sand that's about the length of your body, and you lay in it and you wiggle into it some more, and then you do your best to throw sand on top of you. And being there, just affirm to yourself and to the sand and to earth and to air and to water, to fire, that you want to feel, and these are my words, so make it whatever's true for you, but you want to feel one, your oneness with them, with the elements, with nature, and that you welcome that more and more, and that you want to be able to hear the guidance that's available to you in a way that furthers your emanating from your authenticity and your authentic potential. And in co-creation, you welcome releasing toxic energy to Mother Earth through the sand. And you can just feel, just be there and ask for this co-creation to occur. And you take time, you let go of being self-conscious and just surrender, feeling during the daytime, feeling the warmth, the sun beating on you, and letting the magnetism of the earth pull the toxicity down into the earth from you. It is awesome. And when you feel that, and whatever you feel, just affirm that, just say thank you for the opportunity for me to become conscious about the elements that are here all the time around us, however long it feels that that you're in this place, that you're being embraced by the elements. Just give thanks for it.
And just put a towel over you if the sun is too much.
So then when you feel that you're about to be done in the last 2 minutes or 5 minutes, just say thank you again. Thank you for this opportunity for me to be more consciously connect with you and help me see the insights I have the opportunity to see here and now. Thank you for helping me become more conscious about your guidance, because I welcome that. At the end of that, get up, dust yourself off, and then go and dip into the ocean if you can. So that's a wonderful ceremony to consider doing, especially at this time of Thanksgiving, of thank you-ness, and learning how to listen to nature. It's an awesome gift to us. Feeling different and people don't understand me. It's a lonely thought to have that when you think, first of all, I don't enjoy doing what those 6, 8, 15, 25 people are doing that I love. It's like, I don't want to do that. And you drive home and you think, it's lonely. We can feel that way. And what I would suggest is first acknowledge that you're feeling that for the moment, and you're feeling how different you feel. But in this group, we really feel different. Like every day. Like,
yeah.
And so it just is a part of our norm. It's about just saying, I just have a different path than the norm. And it's not any better. It's not any worse, but it's a different path. And the more we can see that is true, the more we can allow ourselves to celebrate our uniqueness, the difference that makes us different. And reminding ourselves, well, everybody has a difference. Everybody is unique. It's just that the majority of people can hang. The majority of people are normal. Well, our normal isn't their normal. And if you can appreciate that, I'm speaking to the whole group, but if you can appreciate that our normal isn't the normal of the masses, and just be okay with that. And the more you're okay with that, the less lonely you're going to feel. It's just a different thing. Be okay, because the more you can embrace that, the more you will attract people who can talk and sing that similar song, and you'll recognize your metaphysical ohana when it shows up. So
the other thing part of the reason that it's so hard at times is because I think it goes for every one of you, including us. We came into this life agreeing to clear some heavy karma that we wanted to get through, that we wanted to break through, some fears or beliefs that we've been carrying for who knows how long. And it may be several patterns. And
he's moving into karmic patterns, ladies.
That can make a situation that other people kind of just breeze through really difficult for you, because it's triggering some deep stuff, and you don't understand sometimes why you're the only one getting triggered in this family by this, or in this group of friends by this. And some way you sense that maybe it's not the situation, there's something more. And often that's karmic patterns that you're working through. So there's a lot of ways we create karmic patterns, and we're talking about things from past life, past lives, things we may have repeated many, many times. And some of that may be, something that we feel guilty of, that we did to somebody else, and we're working through that. But it also just as easily can be things that we condemned ourselves for, that really wasn't malicious in any way. We're actually saying, I want to work through this. I want to be done with this in this life, and I want to heal this. So with that intention coming into this life, we energetically start creating situations. We may create the family situation to come in that is going to really magnify that fear that we brought with us. It's rarely easy. It's rarely, you'll see and you'll understand and you'll get through your fear by seeing, by wisdom of somebody else. Usually you end up creating a similar situation, maybe not as intense as it was before, but the energy is as intense. And the pounding and the knocking on the door, the repetition of the fear just keeps coming and keeps coming until you really start working on it, until you start to see it, until you realize that you're not a victim, that you're actually in some ways creating this in your life. And what do I need to learn in order to grow from this? So it doesn't have to get worse. So I don't have to go even deeper. But often we do end up going pretty deep before we really get it.
We brought it in from a life or lifetimes that we just didn't get the wisdom from the lesson. We call it a life lesson. And we call it a life lesson because which is similar to karma in our viewpoint, because it just keeps showing up in different ways. That familiar frustration or trigger, different events, it's still the same energy that comes up, and we're trying to work through it. Bless it and remind yourself, okay, there's good in this. I brought this in to look at it. So I want to look at this. I want to see it. I don't want to keep reliving the frustration of it. I want to hear it, stop, and see it. I want to appreciate my part in it. I want to see what I have felt guilty about, that I judged myself about, whether it's in this lifetime or past lifetimes. And I want to appreciate it now. It's time. That's what I brought it in for, not to keep not looking at it.
Often it's not a major event that kind of brings the energy flooding in. Sometimes it can be, but sometimes we wonder, why am I reacting like this? Why am I in such fear about this? I didn't used to be like this. I didn't used to have this.
Or I feel numb.
Yeah.
I feel numb. And you sense it's not right. I shouldn't be feeling numb. I don't feel passionate. So there's something there. It's like, okay, I've buried the joy, the freedom. Why am I restricting myself to this? So those are the questions to ask yourself.
And when we don't look at that, just like we talked about with emotional patterns, because these can be part of your emotional patterns, when we don't look at it, it sometimes can manifest in physical conditions. which is why we've talked about in everybody that I'm in session with, the connections between the emotional and the physical, because often we need to clear and release some of those old patterns and some of those old karmic patterns in order to have the physical healing that you originally came to me for, or that is the one that's most in your face that you want to deal with. And you can, but sometimes we have to do both, work on both ends of the spectrum in order to achieve what you're wanting to achieve.
That's where our clients, we have clients who just work with me, clients who just work with Derek, and clients who work with both of us. This is a joint group. This is a group that would approach both of us for the most part. And for those who are in that group, don't shoot the messenger here, breathe. But that group, you're here to understand the whole picture. You're not one of those people who can say, well, I don't want to look at my diet.
I just want to get healthy.
I just want a treatment. Just treat me, because I know that can happen. And there will be people in this group that really have that strong belief because they know it's true. That is a truth that you can create strategy and just shift yourself. But in this group, it's about understanding, for whatever your reason is, and that is between you and your source. It's about understanding the whole picture. That's why I say, what kind of water are you drinking? What kind of water are you putting all over your body? What's your diet? What's in your environment? Is it toxic? There are reasons why you've decided that you need to see the whole picture. I would speculate that you're meant to be some kind of practitioner, whether it's a certified something or just someone who is being of service to people and walking this path in your own organic way. That's why we've talked about so many different things with you.
Hear what the message is. Oh, I have a fear of being out in public. I have a fear of people discovering me. Just that can be enough for you to explore and go deep and release that. You don't need to know all the story, because we could spend our lifetimes looking at our past lifetimes, and that's not what this lifetime is about. So,
but you don't stop there. You say, oh, well, I have a fear about that. So you can accept that for now, and then you bless it. You say, and I can feel it, I see it, and I bless the insight about that, and I move forward.
Now, sometimes it will be important for you to get a glimpse of what that was. And if it is important, it'll come forward. Either it'll come forward with your work with Nidra, or it'll come forward on your own. If it's important to get a glimpse of what that was about, to wrap yourself around that and to release that.
But if you work with me, I want you to know you're going to have homework. Don't call me and say, I just want you to fix me. I'm not the person for Kayla's vigorously not shaking her head. She's been with us for a few years. So anyway, I'll be there with you. I'll walk with you, but you have to do the work.
My whole life I've had to deal with anger. But recently I've noticed that, during the time of this course, is that I'm having a lot more compassion, which is great, because the anger might come up, but there's less judgments about it and more curiosity about it, especially when it's really out of proportion. We talked about the holidays and I'm having family come over. I just wanted to say that I really noticed, since you did speak about compassion, I really am noticing, it's more there, not just condemnation of the anger, which doesn't help.
certainly I'm not saying it's okay to be angry at people that don't deserve it. I'm not saying that it's okay. I found is helpful is to surrender it at night in my dream state, to say before or as I'm falling asleep, you know, I recognize I have anger and I don't want to condemn myself. I know there must be a reason for it, and I allow that reason to surface so that I have the insight. I welcome the insights, and if that needs to be through my dream state, I welcome that. It's wonderful to be able to program your dreams with the anger and say, I want to release it. I want to have the insight. I want to be more loving. I want to be more free. I want to laugh more genuinely. I want to care more for myself and for others. These are the things I welcome more and more. And I know I have this path of anger, and I welcome seeing the insight so that I can bring myself to peace about that. And I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah.
It does work. And, you know, Derek and I are just as surprised about me not being as angry as I used to be as anybody. So, hooray! I used to have classes at our home because I was so sick. I just couldn't do anything else. And this was really before having this kind of setup available. And, you know, I would have a hot seat. I'd be a taskmaster. And I'd call on each person and I wouldn't let them up until they saw something. And, you know, I just remember a couple of people getting up and looking behind them and going, is my ass still there? I think she just bit it off me. So I really understand. So I hear you, lady. I hear you, sister. And, you know, and you get home and you go, Jesus Christ, what's my problem? You know, just breathe.
And
Breathe.
remind yourself,
be loving with yourself.
Yeah, the part that feels good is the ego.
Yeah, the battle.
The part that feels good afterwards is like, I did it, and that's the ego.
Was it Anna that was saying how much she enjoyed battle? So now you hear, now you know, I really know what that's like to enjoy battle. So I'm not just being a goody two shoes person with my big smile. So it took a long time for me to learn how to smile like this and laugh about my life. Okay, so thank you for that share. Thank you so much for that share.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That wasn't Sarah, that was Sapphire.
Sapphire.
This year has been a year of transition. So I have transitioned to a coaching role, and working with, it kind of fell into my world and into my lap that I'm working with people who have gone through a narcissistic abusive relationship, because that was what I had gone through at the beginning of the year. And so these people are coming to me, and I know that one of my gifts in this world and in this lifetime is communication, and being able to be that facilitator of communication as it comes through me. And so I've really been able to tap into the pain that people feel and what they're going through, as if they feel as if I'm speaking to them, even though I'm speaking to everybody because they're through YouTube videos. It's energy work. I have some Reiki training. I'm also a yoga therapist. And, you know, primarily I'm using the intuition that I was given, you know, the gifts that I was given. So that's where I'm coming from. And being able to really tap into this pain because I've walked that path. So there's an intuitive knowing, and then there's also this, I've been there as well. And it's some people are out of the pain and they're just looking for clarity and direction and guidance on their life. And then others are really still sitting in the pain. So there's various types of people that I'm working with.
So it's a learning stage. You're going to move into something else. It feels like you've been in this for, you know, you said this past year, but I'm seeing you in it for 2 years, the last 2 years. So you've got 3 more years in this journey, in this particular segment that you're in. And you're moving into, put yourself on mute for now. You're
Sure.
moving into learning how to work with this spiritual guide. You're moving from the world and its systems, and I'll be fascinated to see what that means for you, into your spiritual dynamics. And you have this guide that has been, I'm seeing this animated picture of him hitting you over the head, you know, like, look over here. So, and it's because you have this mental framework of the way you were in the world. I don't know what that means, but you can tell us. And the training that you've had in the world, and I just asked you if you were certified and you said you weren't, so I'm not sure what that means either. I want to say it's kind of unfolding in spite of you. So really fascinating words. Don't comment yet. Stay on mute. My notes that you said, you know, you've got Reiki, you've got yoga, you've got intuitive. Those are all intuitive arts. So, and yet I'm seeing this training, this mental, organized format, that like business world thing, which is not what you've said. So I'm a little confused, but that's okay. And so it's about you embracing more and more and more, kind of like Anna, this, just let go, like, okay, this is it's a blessing. It's a special time for you, Sarah, that this portal that you're in is just open, and your universe just keeps giving you stuff, and and the world is responding. So you can say, wow, this is amazing. And when you catch yourself going, wow, this is amazing, going, yes, I bless this and accept this. Are you guys listening? So yes, I bless this and accept this, and I welcome this. And, you know, even though I don't know what in the hell I'm doing, and I don't mean that you totally don't know, but that's what I'm hearing. So I just bless this. This is a gift. I'm in it. I'm in flow. My mind may go, how in the hell have you gotten here? You can say, yeah, I don't know, but I bless it, because this is a special time for you guys. All right. So tell me what makes sense to you and what questions come up for you.
Well, first of all, I was just giggling the entire time because you pretty much nailed me to a T. What's coming up is, you know, I have worked in the corporate world, and so yes, I was working with corporate wellness and mindfulness, and in going into corporations and helping them shift. And so, you know, there's this very regimented, organized, logical side of me that I never really realized.
You have that major.
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop. That's where the surprise is coming from, is, wait, what the hell is this? Because I've always kind of identified with myself as being free-flowing and free spirit. And now I'm realizing there's really cool, organized part of me. So I've been really grounding this year in so many ways. And I feel more earthy than I ever have in my entire life. And so that's what you're seeing. There's this duality that I've realized about me. That's this, I'm very much 50-50, half logic and rationality, and then half free spirit and intuition. And I'm learning to merge the two. And confusing as hell, because which way do I go?
Yeah, and it
That's
comes from that business place of, I need to be
Yes.
professional, and where's my professionalism? How do I back that up? You're in this incredible vortex that your universe has said, okay, it's now. It's going to come when it comes. And it's here for many of you. And so you just, when you find yourself going, what in the hell? I hope I'm not misleading people. Of course, that needs to be a question. That needs to be a question. You need to set up an agreement with your universe that to know when you need to refer that person out. And
Okay.
We all have that just because they're sending them your way. If you feel a stop, you need to look at that and ask, and say, let me get back to you.
When you get a client that you realize is not quite the right client,
Yes.
for whatever reason, when you say no, when you refer them out, you're refining for your own universe and your own creation to get those clients that are more
resonating with
more with you.
So stay authentic, stay real. That's really important. And hear me, a person that's been in this field for a good 35 years. Stay humble. And as much as you believe in whatever the modality is that you're learning in the moment, it is not the end all be all. And that in this field of metaphysics and healing, it's a huge, huge range. And there are so many modalities that are wonderful and valuable, and they can be opposing viewpoints. So remember not to diss someone else's modality just because it's the opposite of what you're learning right now. You're going to fall in love with your modalities, and you should be falling in love with it. You should be feeling like it is the end all. It is the everything. Just remember that that's for you in the moment right now, and fully dive into it for you. But it doesn't mean it's for everybody. So remember that, especially in social forums nowadays, where you may be a really great writer, or you may be incredibly articulate, and people will listen to your every word or dwell on your every written word. Be generous and respectful about other people's modalities, because this is about understanding as you continue to evolve, as we evolve and grow. You're going to find, wow, I never want to eat meat again. I need to be of service and of honor to our four-legged. And then, 5 years later, you're going to want meat, and your body's going to need it. I'm saying this as an example. I don't mean that necessarily has to happen to you.
And as you're in your modality and people are coming to you, it's okay that you're not the be all end all expert of that modality. It's okay that as long as you recognize that and recognize that you can help those people who are at a certain place, then you can be of great service, even if you're, and I'm not speaking specifically about you, Sarah, but I'm speaking about anybody. Even if you're newer in the field of your particular modality, you don't need to wait until you have 10 years experience. You just need to be real. Know that you can attract the right people to you that will benefit from your service.
Is that helpful?
Very, very helpful. Thank you.
You know, I used to be much more business oriented before I think my second stroke. But now I'm definitely way more in the wooey side. And thank God I have Derek, because he's, you know, he straddles both worlds still. So
Is my mind just goes blank and I can't think anymore. And that makes it hard for me to work with clients.
And how long does it last, Kayla?
Sometimes it can last for days. Sometimes it just might be just in the moment.
seeing you have an environment that you frequent that is a little toxic for you.
Oh, that's a surprise. Okay, could that be the quilt shop then?
Well, that's the strongest. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
My mind
Well,
says, what?
fabrics have
Toxic in
chemicals
the
on them.
fabric. Oh,
When it's manufactured, has different, all the dyes and the stiffeners and stuff they put in them. And yeah, I'm working in part-time in a store and
you
that
know,
with,
honey, we all know how sensitive you are. We, meaning
Yeah.
the three of us.
right.
And I'm seeing toxicity.
Okay.
That's the reason why you're forgetting things. So when you start to do treatments on yourself, start to affirm to your body, mind, intelligence that you're going to release this toxicity, because it's insidious.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you have these blocks, these empty spaces, and you want to start to cleanse it. It's not you're not in crisis.
Mm-mm.
So, but it's affected you. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking with a woman that's been working with us for a couple decades. I wouldn't necessarily say something just flat out like that, but I am talking with someone who I know is a practitioner and can work on herself and works with Derek as well. So I want to just preface that. Kayla, is this okay that we recorded? It's okay if you don't.
It's fine. It's every time it happened, I was going, am I looking for an entity? You know.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Well, sometimes.
I mean, you know, there can be secondary and third, you know, responses and reactions to this, right? We know this, but the primary source is you are in you frequent a toxic environment and it's affecting your brain. So is it affecting other parts of you? Yes, you probably are feeling lethargic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been very tired lately.
Okay. So that would be the secondary symptom that I would look at. And then, yeah, even your speech pattern, you know, even your breathing. I would up the supplement. If I were you,
Mm-hmm.
I would do some therapeutic dosages and start to clear that. And of course, you need to intuit to how you segue to a therapeutic dose. You don't just jump into a therapeutic dose. We all know that, the three of us, but I want to say this to the group and to those watching in the future. This group is very sensitive, hypersensitive. You start with a very small amount. Most of the time it is a fraction of what is suggested on the label. And we're talking about doing your research and knowing the brands have integrity and are reputable. And gosh, it's harder and harder and harder to recognize that. Wow, everything sounds good or it looks good, the label looks good. So you have to intuit, or you have to look at the reviews and really spend time reading those reviews to see, is this a fit for me?
Is there like a specific direction of supplements I should be looking at? Or
I'd want to take a deeper look.
okay.
I can say that across the board, I love the company Host Defense.
I just went and bought more of it today.
I love that company. I every product that I have bought for them, and I've probably bought 8 of their different products. They're all mushroom based,
Mhm.
and it's just an outstanding product line that's available through Amazon.
Mhm.
So, well, thank you so much for being in our group, and we certainly have found value in it, and we hope you
We
did
have.
too. We will not be having a group class for December. We're taking off a few weeks. So we should be resuming in January, and we'll send you an email to see if you'd like to rejoin us, and we hope you will.